Happy New Year! Wishing you guys the best for 2026. And as we start out in January, the Dawning will end on the 6th. Then Bungie will have their first Twid of the year from the 8th of January. And beyond that, in the second half of the month, the next live event for D2 will arrive in the form of Armsweek, of course. We've seen this event in the past, but it has updated rewards for this season. And if you don't already know everything about Armsweek, then hopefully this video will help you out. We'll round up the upcoming weapons, and there are a couple with some pretty interesting roles. Additionally, we'll cover new exotic weapon mods that'll come in the event, as well as additional drops, quests, and things to be aware of if you want to know. So if you guys do find the video useful, say something kind about Ada1 in the comment section. I feel like she gets lonely down there in the annex. Now though, let's get into it. For the quick rundown initially, Armsweek in January will focus on bows, so that'll mean a new bow drops, that's the King Orfeo, an arc precision frame bow, but we'll additionally get chances at the Heron, which is a new glaive, coming with void damage and an aggressive archetype. Both of these weapons have a whole bunch of holofoil variants, and I believe for Armsweek, we'll get this holofoil version, but there are additional variations that will roll around in different live events during the season. With this event being for bows, Ada will also offer focusing for some pre-Edge of Fate bows, and there'll be additional random drops like the locked loaded emblem. Then as we saw with the last event, there'll be an initial calibration quest, as well as additional quests that will award us with the volatile weapon mods. Most of the objectives for these will require us to get kills with bows in portal activities, so nothing especially surprising. But the volatile mods include Tungsten Bowstring, which deals increased damage, but it comes at the cost of draw time and handling, and it releases an elemental explosion matching the weapon when fully drawn, with kinetic weapons releasing a burst matching your equipped super. There's also Jump Shot, where drawing the weapon while in midair triggers increased damage, faster draw time, improved target acquisition, and dramatically faster movement speed for a short time, or until you touch the ground. And lastly, Shatter Shafts, where arrows and bolts split into several projectiles after a short distance. Of course, they only stick around for the duration of the Armsweek event, but as we saw with the last one, they tend to be pretty strong. Looking at the weapons specifically here though, King Orfeo is the featured precision frame arc bow. In the perk slots, for slot 1 there is Surplus, Shoot to Loot, Archer's Tempo, Explosive Head, Successful Warm-Up, Pugilist, and Impulse Amplifier. Then slot 2 can get Dragonfly, Rolling Storm, Precision Instrument, Mega Nora, Rangefinder, Jolting Feedback, and Swashbuckler. So with the first slot being able to run bonuses like Archer's Tempo, obviously that's always been super popular, as well as Successful Warm-Up, and pairing those with just about any of the perks in slot 2 is an option, especially Mega Nora though. It's cool to see this perk come back. Precision Final Blows create the elemental explosion, and the damage scales based on the number of rapid hits beforehand, so ×3 is the maximum stack for Mega Nora, and it's going to be maxed out most of the time. Plus having Archer's Tempo or Successful Warm-Up will increase that further. Other slot 1 perks though, like Explosive Head and Impulse Amplifier are there, but you can also get Pugilist in slot 1, which will combo with Swashbuckler in slot 2 if you like. Outside of those, the second column can get Dragonfly, as well as Rolling Storm and Jolting Feedback, so you could opt for the almost mini Trinity Ghoul roll. That was also possible on the Salvation's Edge bow, but with Volt Sharp, which may have been better in a way, with the way that bows reload. For the Armsweek bow though, Archer's Tempo and Jolting Feedback combo is probably going to be the most flexible. For me, Archer's Tempo or Successful Warm-Up and Mega Nora is what looks most interesting on King Orfeo. So that's what I'll be after, but let me know what you'll be most interested in the comment section. We should mention the origin trait for this as well. It's not super flashy, but it looks decent. And it's Nail meets Hammer, where the weapon's more effective against combatant shields, and grants bonus special ammo progress if it uses primary or heavy ammo progress if it uses special ammo. So obviously for this weapon, it will also provide bonus special ammo progress. The other new weapon we'll get though is the Heron. This won't technically be the featured weapon, but it will be in the Armsweek engram. This is a void aggressive glaive, so it's similar to Judgment of Kelgrath, Albedo Wing, or Rake Angle, but obviously the void variant. In slot 1, we have perks like Proximity Power, Overflow, Envious Assassin, and Replenishing Gauges, so there are a bunch of perks to get more fireable ammo into the magazine. And then the second slot has some interesting perks like Redirection, where damaging rank and file enemies increases damage against more powerful ones. So that will buff damage against elites by 33%, which is quite strong, but it can be a tricky perk to use where it's probably something that'll shine in specific encounters. Plus, you can roll Sword Logic or Binary Orbit on this as well, which are more flexible and probably better choices in terms of damage bonuses and ease of use. So those are the damage options, but it can also roll Ancillary Ordnance in slot 2, which fires the homing missile after killing elemental debuff targets. That always sounded cool on paper, but I'm not sure practically how good it is. So I guess the low-hanging fruit for Heron, in many ways, is the Repulsor Brace and Destabilizing Rounds combo. I don't think that's actually been possible on any Void Glaives before, so while it's kind of basic, it is naturally a very good combo for a weapon like this. Void explosions on kills, overshield, and the ability to block damage. Plus, the origin trait will make it more effective against shields, and being a special weapon, it'll provide more heavy ammo generation. So unless something kind of unexpected pops up with it, I'll probably look for Repulsor Brace destabilizing rounds. But again, let me know what you'd be most interested in on this weapon as well in the comments section. The only other mention in relation to this event coming up in January, of course, are things like the Sharpshooter title. So Armsweek does get its own title still. I think a lot of the objectives are similar to the first time that it was around. So firstly, there's an objective to complete or collect all of the Armsweek volatile weapon mods. Another, which is to actually use those weapon mods to get kills. It looks like they've simply been updated or replaced with this season's objectives. I didn't complete them last time, but they're still being tracked for me, so we'll have to see what happens with that. Otherwise, complete matches in Armsweek hardware. So hardware returns with an event-specific variant, I suppose, right here. Otherwise, there is Rushed Recoil to complete the Armsweek reward track, Terribly Modish to defeat combatants using weapons with Armsweek volatile mods, and Portal Ops grant more progress. An objective to win matches in Armsweek hardware, and then we have Right on Target to achieve a grade of A or higher in Fireteam Ops or Pinnacle Ops with a volatile weapon mod equipped. And Gunbelievable to complete a dungeon, raid, or Portal Ops at Master or higher difficulty with a volatile weapon mod equipped. So pretty basic stuff, and as we saw last time around, we only have to complete 4 of the challenges overall, so if the title is something you're going after in particular, it's going to be quite easy to do. Otherwise, Armsweek and Heavy Metal haven't typically seen a bunch of cosmetic items outside of things like the emblem we mentioned, with these being the kind of smaller scale seasonal events. And for the moment, that is Armsweek. It pretty much will work in the same format that we had it the first couple of times around, but with updated weapons. So obviously the weapons are the main appeal for Armsweek. We should mention Gizmo Weft will also be able to drop while Armsweek is active. So if you didn't get a good one in the Dawning, there will be continued chances. Then ultimately it will become much easier to farm when we get to Call to Arms later on in the year. Otherwise, the Armsweek weapons that are featured, like we said, will get other holofoil variants at some point in the future, so they will be used across a couple of different events during the season. So let us know your thoughts below. As I mentioned, I'd expect Armsweek to come up in the last 2 weeks of January, given that Bungie will probably want a chance to announce it in the first couple of twids, so let us know if it interests you in the comment section. If you've enjoyed the video, a rating would very much help us out as well. But otherwise, thank you for tuning in, and I hope you guys have an awesome day.